All right, guys. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our official mock draft here. We got myself, we have Alex, we have Trey, we have Rip Cliff. We're going to be the four people representing each and every team of the first round. Now, we were thinking about splitting this up into certain ways into different categories. So if you want to help us out in our decision making process, that'd be greatly appreciated. Because of how many teams that there are in the first round that have multiple draft picks. If you go down the board, obviously like the Lions, the Jets, the Giants, the Eagles, Saints, Packers, Chiefs, like just to name a few, they're all going to have more than one first round pick. And if we just want to go evenly down the board, like say I have the first pick, Alex has the second pick, Trey's get the third pick, Redcliffe gets the fourth pick, by that point, like Redcliffe is going to have two picks in both 4 and 10 with the same team. So we're kind of thinking about, should he take control of both picks? Or, for me, if I'm 5 and I have the Giants, I have 5 and 7 with this idea. So we're thinking, do we just kind of go, all right, yeah, I'll have 5, Alex gets 6, then Trey gets the 7.
I think this is like a record for how many teams have 2 picks in the first round.
Probably.
That draft. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? I think we can actually do our own real roll call here. So let's get it then. We got Joseph Thornton. Welcome. We got Nathan Floyd. We got the Dynamite here. We got Anthony Wright. We got Blizz818. We got Aunt J. We got Scotty Robinson. We got Bubba Gump from Twitch. And we got, that's all for right now. So appreciate y'all tuning in. And all right, so I gave everyone, one last one for Smooth C78. We're giving everyone 2 minutes to decide. All right, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you go over 2 minutes, I have a timer right in front of me. If you go over 2 minutes, I'm cutting you off. I don't care. I'm doing the same thing for myself. I'm trying to think quick.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. First round, we know.
Just react, and then we just move on.
Maybe the later picks, there might be some thinking, but I mean, we should really get through the top 10 pretty quick.
Yeah, we can. If you want to allot more time just to think about the trade, we can do that. But again, like that shouldn't take forever.
Because if you're trading up, you should know, and then if you're trading back, then that gives you time to think about what you're going to do. Before.
So I think certain teams. So for the people that are representing certain teams that might be trading up or trading down, I think before we make our pick, depending on, like I said, depending on who we are, I think we should ask, hey, who wants this pick? And then we'll decide, like, all right, well, I'm going to be over here representing this team, and I think that this team would want to trade up, or just nothing like that. It could get a little bit tricky to. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just asking, are we going to talk about the picks? Like, are we going to give time to talk about the picks?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the 2 minutes should be for.
Okay.
And then afterwards, we can kind of, reset the clock, talk about it just a little bit, and then just move on. And then afterwards, we'll have the rest of the time to talk about who made what decision.
All right.
So, like, I'm not just going to have, like, the 30-second pick and then just set this thing off.
All right, let's do it.
So, that puts me on the clock. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right.
Let's go.
Do you guys know of any team that would want the first overall pick outside of Jacksonville?
Nah, I don't see it.
Offer it up right now.
I have no idea who would want to trade up in this draft.
All right, so because of that, I think I'm going to go because Trayvon Walker has been the the one rumor to go at 8 more so than Hutchinson right now. And if I want to go with, what the recent rumors have been, I think I scroll down, and I'll give them Trayvon Walker, the workout warrior himself. All right, Alex, you are on the clock.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting you to do that. Okay, that kind of throws me off. Do you think anyone would trade up to number 2? I think that there are some teams, but I don't know.
Possibly the Saints.
Yeah, I think that they would be willing to trade up.
Are they looking for a tackle, I guess, maybe?
I don't know. I don't think Detroit wants to trade down. I think they want to stay at 2 and make their selection.
Yeah.
And there's a guy staring me right in the face because Noah took Trayvon Walker, but I'm not going to do it. I'm probably going to go against some consensus, and I'm going to take Malik Willis here at number 2.
I kind of like that.
Wow.
Pick. I don't like Malik Willis, but I like the spot.
It's a pretty decent situation for him too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I was thinking about the situation.
Something like that would be
like you're gonna need that trio of people to kind of feed off of. And you have your DeAndre Swift, you have your TJ Hawkinson, you have your Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you can get picks later on. You got a solid offensive line, and then you have a quarterback in place so that you don't really need to start him right away. So I think it's a good spot.
I also bought time for Dan Campbell, so I thought that was part that came into it.
I think you just got him a knee biter. Or a kneecap biter. All right, Trey, you got your 2-minute start now. You're on the clock.
Well, this pick is easy. I'm just going to go Aiden Hudson. I'm going Aiden Hutchinson with that one.
They need everything.
I mean, you got to take him.
I guess there's no really need to bother asking. The Texans have 2 picks, by the way, too. I forgot to mention that.
And number 13.
All right, so Hutchinson's off the board. Ripcliffe, you're there for the Jets.
I'm going to go Aquanu. I think I would solidify that offensive line. If you're going to give that,
there's been a lot of talks about them taking one of the corners.
Yeah, but I think if you're going to build around Zach Wilson, you got to start up front. And they've got some good offensive linemen, but Akeem would just make it solidified, like they wouldn't have any. They could put him at right tackle. I mean, they like Fant. I think that's his name, Princeton Fant or whatever his name is.
George Fant, I want to say.
George Fant, maybe, yeah. But I think he can play guard or tackle, so whichever slot him in.
For whatever reason, they're not super high on Mekhi Becton anymore. Probably because he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, like I don't know if it was that coaching staff the one that drafted him. Or is it the pre?
I would think so.
Because he went 2 years ago. So
yeah, Saul wasn't there. I know that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's a new coaching staff. So.
Yeah, he was in the Tristan Wirfs and Jedrick Wills draft class, and Andrew Thomas. Right. So if Andrew Thomas was taken before all of them, then that must have been 2019 or something.
Mm-hmm.
2020?
Yeah, it was when we took Terrell.
Yeah. Okay. So then that was that draft because then they speaking of Giants, they took Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, and I just think with the corners, there's a lot more. They've got you could take that at 10 or whatever you wanted to do there. So
all right, so I am now on the clock as the first pick for the Giants. Now, oh boy, because I see sauce right there. And I know that they need a corner because there's been links about them probably shipping off James Bradbury. And maybe they give some more time for Andrew Thomas, maybe not, but there's also Kayvon Thibodeau for them right there, and him across from Azeez Ojulari. I would like that. I think that doesn't fail in the long run. I don't really think an offensive line would fail either, but it's the Giants.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for me to decide how they go about this one in terms of their priorities. So I'm going to give them the safer pick, and I'm going to give them Kayvon Thibodeau.
Interesting. Who's 6?
That would be Alex. You're on the clock.
All right. So I thought about this pick quite a bit.
This is a trade
obviously
option too.
There is a trade option, but I'm gonna actually stick at 6. Even though I probably should trade, I'm gonna stick at 6. And there's only really one position that I'm considering here, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this position is. But I'm between 2 players. Do I go with debatably the better pass protector, or do I go with the more all-around better player / more rare talent?
Who's the
I think I go with
right now? I don't even know who they have.
I think they still have Sam Darnold, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
good luck with that, guys.
I
Matt
don't want
Rule's-
to take. Yeah.
He's
I
geared
mean,
up
I
for
should buy him
getting
some time. I'm not going to do it, though. I'm not going to do it.
I
I
think
don't-
go with I would go with a more balanced player, but
Yeah. I don't want to trade down and try to reach for a quarterback too early. So I'm going to go ahead and take Evan Neal because he's staring me right in the face.
yeah, I agree.
All right, Evan Neal's off the board, and Trey, you're not fooling me with having 2 slots here. I don't know which one of you is going to be talking, but you're not taking the next pick. All right.
Gotcha. Still don't know how I have 2 of me.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
All right, so just for I can't really move anything around, but
I'm gonna go faster.
So hold on.
Okay.
So who did y'all take at? Who did y'all take at the Giants pick? Like,
all right. So this is what the screen's looking like now so far.
All right. So
All right, so you're on the clock.
I already took Kayvon. So let's go Evan Neal.
Evan Neal's already been taken.
He just got taken.
That's crazy. All right. So I don't really like wide receiver for them here. I would trade back, but Malik's already off the board. Let's go Ahmad.
Okay, so they do end up, in fact, taking that extra cornerback. All right, Ripcliffe. Pick that we've all been waiting for.
The Falcons. Who did he just take?
He just
Gardner?
took, yeah.
I would go with. This might be I don't know if the Steelers would trade up for someone else. Give me one moment here. I'm gonna be right back.
All right.
Just give me Carl Loftus. That's all.
Okay.
I don't hate the pick. I'd probably take him a little bit later, but I don't hate the pick.
I ain't gonna lie. I think Karlaftis at 8 is kind of a reach. Like,
Yeah, I see that.
just because it's like you could literally trade back, I think, to like 15, maybe even 20 and still get him.
Yeah, I'm seeing him being drafted by like the Cardinals and the Packers in the early 20s.
But I'm not mad at it. Like,
I mean,
in these situations, you definitely draft for ceiling, and he's got a great ceiling.
Yeah.
And a really high floor.
Oh yeah, I mean, length is
as they can play day one, and
that is true. He can play day one and do so really well. I think it's a very underrated pick. I think that might be a pick that you make somewhere in the teens because I think he falls there. But nonetheless, I still like it.
all right. So that puts me on the clock as the Seahawks. Now, Seahawks first round picks, they generally don't do all that well. So how can I get them to mess this up?
Take Desmond Ridder.
I don't know if that messes them up.
You're reaching for a mid-late round QB at 9. I think that does kind of like... Because actually, no, because I have heard Desmond is kind of rising up draft boards a little bit to where he could go in like the top 20. But it's like, it's probably like a team that trades back like us or the Seahawks or the Panthers.
I think the Saints, that's a good destination spot for them. That's if they want to take on Desmond Ridder, because I think he's just like a better version of Jameis Winston without the arm.
Can you give me tips?
All right. Well, I know this coaching staff and what they like to advertise on the defensive side of the ball. And I think if you want to restart, the process of what they got going over there in the Seattle, I think despite what he is at the moment, Stingley's a great prospect.
Most physically gifted in the entire class.
So that's what I got going for Seattle.
All right.
I like that pick a lot.
All right,
I thought about
Alex, it puts you on the clock with the Jets.
Oh boy, this is rough too. This is
because this is also another trade spot too. Like,
could be.
It is.
Saints want to make a move. I've heard the Cowboys, they don't want to be desperate about trading up.
I think the Saints might trade up for
They
Cross.
may not want to wait.
And also, you did lose Marcus May this year, so you got Kyle Hamilton right there too.
Yeah.
My gut wants to trade, but I don't know. For some reason, I don't feel comfortable trading down.
These are the two trade candidates that the PFF would give me. They got the Saints and the Chargers. The Chargers are not trading up, but Saints definitely would.
Yeah, I think that's what they were kind of jockeying. They're getting their first round pick, like that the second first rounder this year, is because they're planning on moving up with one of those picks, and then I think they want to tackle one of these tackles.
So it's like if Charles Cross is still here in the top 10.
But again, this isn't predictive. So if somebody wants, whoever,
right.
I don't think they double down on tackle because they did draft who was that last year? Mekhi Becton. Then they got
no. I'm talking about Jets. I'm talking about Saints.
Oh, I mean
the Jets would not go tackle if they go Aquanu already.
But Teron Armstead was kind of like more of a run blocking offensive lineman. I mean, he can still pass block.
I disagree. I think it's the exact opposite. I think Cross is a really good comp to Teron Armstead, to be honest with you.
All right, Alex, I'm giving you 30 seconds.
All right, I think I know what I'm going to take. I'm gonna take him because this is what I've been hearing, a lot of interest around the league. Me personally, I wouldn't take him just because of the value that they could get later and who they have on the team. But I'm gonna go Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
All right, so Jermaine Johnson's off the board at 10. All right. Trey, this puts you on the clock with the commies.
Man, y'all keep giving me easy picks, man. So, with this one, as we all know, Terry McLaurin has been asking for a trade, and from what people are saying, it's about money. But what I think they're saying is he doesn't have really any help out there as far as the receiving core wise. So you could fix up the O line a little bit and take Charles Cross, but I don't think they do that. So I think they end up taking another speedster in Jamison Williams to try to pair him and Terry McLaurin up and kind of give Terry another running mate, because really what teams have been saying what they do when you play the Commanders is that you worry about Terry McLaurin and everybody else, you put your best guy forth, and that's kind of something you can do, especially when you have someone like that. You kind of have to get him a running mate, and even though I kind of let you have, hopefully, because you have the Vikings pick next, right? Or is that Rip Cliff?
Yes.
Yeah, so I kind of let you.
Rip Cliff is picking for Vikings.
Yeah, so I kind of let you have this one player right here, but I'm gonna take Jamison with this one.
Okay.
All right, Rip Cliff, you're on the clock.
And I think it's a good pick. I think Jamison Williams is going to be the first wide receiver taken in this draft.
These are the two different trade scenarios, by the way. Again, New Orleans and then Kansas City. They also got 2 picks to package as well to move up.
With the corners taken, I think that it's definitely a big possibility that the Saints trade up or the Vikings trade down, and I think the Saints will trade up to get Charles Cross with their, it'll be like and they won't have to give up much. Like they're 16th, and then maybe like
so you're saying 16th instead of 19th.
Yeah, I think that this because and then give you think like a third round, a fourth and fourth. It'd probably like even something cheaper than that because it's only 4 spots. So
maybe a pick from next year too.
Maybe they swap picks, like late round picks. Like maybe what do the Vikings have?
They'll just do 194 and 181 like that.
Something like that.
Something meaningless, but there's always that one like, yeah, okay. I guess it's
like to balance it out,
All right, so now that this trade will go through, I'm gonna reset the timer and then have them take Charles Cross.
Yeah. Such a Saints move, right?
Yeah. So
take offensive lineman in the first round,
and even trading up to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because the Vikings they traded back and still took Christian Darrisaw, someone that they really wanted, and they suffered no cost from this.
Yeah, either. I mean the Vikings could probably use some offensive line help too, but I just think like their cornerback situation. I was thinking maybe Jordan Davis, but
I thought you would take Hamilton with this pick because the Vikings' safety need right now is like it's huge. Like
I know how I am with Hamilton. I think he's going in the 20s.
I don't know the way. I mean, he's of course his stock has fell a little bit, but it's still a lot of people saying he's probably going to
It's
go
just
in
it's
like
just
that
this
10 to 15
position.
range.
It's just the position he plays. It's nothing against him personally.
All right, so now I'm on the clock with Houston, and we've already took Hutchinson with them. And I know that they need dang near everything except maybe quarterback and possibly a tackle because of Laramie Tunsil still there. I say that they go out and they try to get leaders on both sides of the ball. They got a leader in Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive side of the ball, and then let's give them someone that they can feel good about on the offensive side and just kind of round it out. I think the top dude for them to take right here, Garrett Wilson.
Not a bad pick.
So he's the second wide receiver to go off the board there.
Great minds think alike, Noah. Great minds think alike.
And now, Alex, you're on the clock for Baltimore.
I'm so sorry. Oh man, I'm actually gonna need a minute to think about this.
These are trade candidates,
Actually, you
by
know
the
what?
way.
I don't think. I think I made up my mind.
Right.
I don't think this is a popular pick that has been mocked to the Ravens, and honestly, it might not even be the best pick that I'm making here. But for anyone who's wondering why I'm not taking Trent McDuffie here, it's because Trent McDuffie, while he can play press man, is a corner that you ideally want in zone because of how instinctive and how quick he is to close on the ball, even though he can play man. And I believe that he'd probably still excel here. I just think that I'm going to go a different route and address what's probably been holding them back for a while. And I'm going to go Drake London. I think it's a very good scheme fit with this run-heavy offense. And using play action is what they do best. So adding another weapon who can get open if you want to spread out or do play action, because Drake London's a very good blocker. I think it just works out beautifully there.
Mm-hmm. Not mad at it.
Yeah. All right, Trey, you got Philly.
So top 3 wide receivers off the board. O-line really isn't that big, much of a need. D-line is pretty straightforward. I think with this pick right here, I'm gonna go Trey McDuffie with this one. Kind of give Darius Slay a running mate. They don't really have a number 2 corner out there. I heard they was trying to trade for one last offseason before they had played us. But I think that was them thinking they were gonna have to play Pitts, Calvin, and Julio on the same offense. Of course they didn't, but I think they're still looking for that number 2 corner. And he could end up eventually being the number 1 because Darius Slay is I think 30 or 31 years old, so he's not, not the youngest guy. So kind of plan for the future and also have a plan for right now with that number 2 corner.
So,
Interesting.
This is my pick, right?
Yep, Vikings once again.
So, Vikings, obviously, you'd be looking at corner, but I'm actually going to throw a little curveball here. And I want to go off of some news that came out this week where they didn't pick up Garrett Bradbury's fifth-year option. I think they go Linderbaum here.
Ooh.
Yeah, get Linderbaum. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. All right, that puts me on the clock with San Diego. Oh my God, it's been how many years?
Yeah, they're always San Diego to me. I'm sorry. They can move to LA if they want, but You can take the You can take the Chargers out of San Diego, but not
Yeah, the San Diego
San Diego
Chargers.
out of the Chargers. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do this pick as a favor for y'all because I don't want him to go to these other teams that are going to be behind them. All right. I'm sorry. And plus, it's something that they need. It's something that really fits what their system does on defense inside.
I think
give me Jordan Davis to the
and they sucked at run defense last year. Like their run defense was horrid, and you put him on the defensive line with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and they did sign. They did sign that. We know the joke. The joke. Sebastian Joseph Day or whatever his name is. We could go on with those jokes, but he's a decent player, but I don't think that takes you out of taking a player like that. Plus, there's really not that many. They're kind of a team that they have the luxury of taking players like that. But,
right. All right.
I'm about to eat it now.
All right, Alex. On the clock for Philly.
Oh man. Geez. Okay. I really don't know what I'm gonna do.
So you can trade. There's the Steelers, Packers, Bucks, Bengals, and Lions that are interested in this pick, according to PFF. Steelers does seem like the move here. If I'm gonna make a trade,
I really do want to trade down. I really do. I don't know what's keeping me from not doing it though.
Possibly Devin Lloyd.
Yeah. I'm trading down. All right. Nope. I'm trading down.
Pittsburgh.
Wait. You know what? Forget it. I'm making a pick.
And
give me Devin Lloyd.
I guess I had to say it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already considering him. I just didn't know if I wanted to take him here or in the 20s.
Yeah, because now you're putting the Saints in a spot where they can take whoever the Steelers want as a way to spite them, because that is how teams operate. Like, there will be some teams that will just spite the other. And Philly is definitely one of them, which is why I think it's kind of odd that they just stick to their guns and go with what they want or what they need. Because I think that, one Pennsylvania team to another would just both just team up on just doing whatever the Saints don't want them to do. All right, so speaking of which, Trey, put the clock on for you. How will you mess this up for them?
Now, I could be just a complete jerk and take them off the lineman.
I will say that, let's see, Jordan Stout is someone that...
For real, man. Or I could trade my entire draft class and
for
go
a running back.
Kenneth Walker and go draft Kenneth Walker. I could do that, but
I mean, you got what, like this year's pick, next year's class, and if I throw in Cameron Jordan on top of that,
oh yeah,
for Mr. Irrelevant,
yeah, guys, like, yeah, that draft pick, that draft day trade is one of the worst. That it probably is the worst draft day trade ever. The Saints trading up for Ricky Williams. They traded not only their full draft for that year, but also their future first, and I think was it a future fourth,
something like that. Yeah, but it definitely involved the next year after that.
And it was only to go up like a certain maybe 5, 6. Yeah, it was like 4. It wasn't a lot of, but yeah. Like, it was crazy. And it was also, like, the running back, like, Ricky Williams wasn't even number one on any of the teams ahead of them's board as far as running back goes. So,
Yeah. All right. All seriousness, though, Trey.
So, what's the best punter we got on the board? Just joking now. So, with Jordan Davis gone, I was gonna give them Jordan Davis just because they, I think they lost their number one nose tackle or defensive tackle this offseason. Edge rusher seems kind of like a need, but they did pick up Davenport's fifth-year option, so I think they're trying to see what they can get out of him on that last year. But I think for them, I'm gonna give them Chris Olave. They kind of need that number 2 wide receiver. Thomas has
Just give them all the Ohio State wide receivers at this point.
Dude, they draft everybody Ohio State, dude. Damn, like over half their damn team.
I mean, it is kind of a reason why some of Louisiana is called Ohio State Buckeyes fans. You know, for that, I mean, like they've had a lot of guys. You have Marshawn Lattimore, Michael Thomas. I can name a couple of busts that came out of Ohio State that they
Well, he just retired, but what was his name? The safety.
Jordan.
No, there's safety. The older safety that retired this year that played for the Eagles for a little bit.
Malcolm Jenkins?
Malcolm Jenkins, yeah.
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, no, but he was Ohio State.
Yeah. All right. Rip. 20. QB1 for them right now is Mitchell Trubisky. How are we feeling?
I think this is a spot for Pickett, dude.
Pickett, okay.
Yeah.
If you didn't take Pickett right here, I was gonna kind of be surprised because you can't say, okay, I'm invested in a quarterback, but I can't take the first or second best one in the class when he slipped all the way towards them. And
he's a home. I mean, he played for Pitt, you know, and you know the Steelers kind of have that stigma. Like, I'm not saying Kenny Baker's gonna be Dan Marino, but they did have that black eye of passing on a Pitt quarterback that it turned out to be one of the best all time. So I'm not saying that plays into the decision too much. I think Mitch Trubisky being your starting quarterback day one plays into that decision. And picking him at 20 doesn't mean that you can't, like, if there's a better quarterback next year, you couldn't go. You know, it doesn't handcuff you, I don't think.
I mean, to be honest, it kind of does, because when you draft Pickett, especially with that first round, because they still got to fix up the offensive line.
Yeah.
But when you draft Pickett, it's kind of saying, okay, Trubisky, after this year, we're done with you. And Pickett, we're giving you the keys for at least the next 4 years. And next year, if they're expecting to at least win at least 9 games this year, I'm expecting all the quarterbacks to go in the top 15 next year. At least the most important ones, like Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. I keep forgetting the Virginia quarterback, too. I think he's fighting for quarterback one right now, too. But I expect all those guys to kind of go in the first, 15 picks. So if they're not in that range, or if they don't have the picks to get inside that range, I think it does kind of handicap you right there.
Well, Spencer Rattler was the number 1 pick of this year's draft at the beginning of last year, so yeah, we'll see.
And then Adam Anderson at the beginning of the season was like a top, like a first rounder at least.
Yeah, he would be a decent pick though. He would his things are legal, but not.
All right, I'm on the clock for New England, and oh my God, how did it get to this point where Kyle Hamilton falls right in front of him?
Oh God. I should have taken him with the Saints pick.
Whenever it gets to New England, I don't care when it is I'm trying to pick for them. Whenever it gets to New England, I'm always scared that this is the player that's going to make them a Super Bowl winner. Because they can just work with anything. All right? If I give him
if you give him Andrew
Hamilton there, Devontae Wyatt, Nakobe Dean, every single one of these guys makes sense.
And then
heck, even Leo Chenal, that would make sense. Maybe not at 21, but jeez.
And then you also
you got Kenyon Green because they traded away Shaq Mason to Tampa Bay. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. So they could use a guard. Oh my god! I think if you're Belichick, you see Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, you're
Falls
basically right. I mean, like that. I think, and the thing is, they have a need at safety that's so big too. I mean, they have a need at corner too, but the safety need is so big that you can literally just like that's the easiest pick. That's like literally the easiest pick you have all night because, well, one, it's kind of like you take Hamilton, you're already like you're basically one of the you replace Jesse Jackson with Kyle Hamilton, and it's like,
well, not only that, because they do vastly different things. I think if you double the production of what a Kyle Duggar did for them or what a Kyle Van Noy did for them, and you throw another Kyle in there, and you just basically try to double everything that they do, and then you kind of wait around the board and then grab someone else that basically does what Dante Hightower does for them. Yeah, that's scary. And they end up putting more nose tackle too.
I think even scarier for that defense.
Yeah, we forgot about
Noah.
They went.
Noah, you drafted Kyle Hamilton. They already have Kyle Duggar. Like,
dude,
why?
This
now
is
you
Kyle
just make them
Duggar.
too good. You make them too good. Like, why?
Dude, you can make them too good using freaking Bernard Raymond. All right, I don't care.
Kyle Duggar and Kyle Hamilton on the same team. Why?
I honestly think I'm glad they didn't take Nakobe Dean. I think that would be a more dangerous pick for them.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned him. I was like,
Nakobe Dean is in that kind of defense, dude.
And to be honest, I don't even think that would put them over the top. Let's say and I think this will actually happen tomorrow. But I think Karlaftis goes to the Patriots tomorrow. And if that
I wouldn't be surprised.
If that ends up happening, it's like, okay, you put.
Dude, people sleeping on Karlaftis, dude. I'm telling you, like he's gonna be a damn
that
animal.
Pressure rate don't lie.
I don't. The thing with him is he's like. It's a tie between him and Jermaine Johnson. And Jermaine Johnson is mocked. I've seen him up to 3 to 8 to 12 to like 6. And then you look at Karlaftis, he goes from his range is from 10 to 25. And that's
all I'm gonna say is show me the film that Jermaine Johnson looks like frickin' Karlaftis does every single game that you turn on. Show me that film.
Film wise, you
all right,
can't really,
Alex.
I mean, film wise, it's hard.
Yeah.
Alex, by the way, you're picking for Packers. You got on the clock.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the easiest pick.
All right, Bernard Raymond. All right, you got Nakobe Dean. You got Zion Johnson, Andrew Booth, Devontae White. So many great options here. You have Travis Jones right here. You have Kier Elam. You have Jalen Petrie. You have, let's take a look.
And they draft a quarterback
here. You have Quay Walker, Boye Mafe. That's a good,
Yeah.
Guys, what do you think everybody's going to do if they draft another quarterback?
I'm just going to make their passing defense even more better. I'm just going to do it. And I know that he fits the run scheme because I've studied this scheme when they were in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go Nakobe Dean. I think he's a perfect fit. And
I like it.
You get 2 coverage linebackers with a decent safety in Darnell Savage and a lockdown corner, and then another corner who had a decent breakout year-ish. You can't throw against them anymore.
And don't underestimate Nakobe Dean's blitzing ability and he's good in run defense.
Exactly.
He's underrated in run defense because he's not like the biggest guy, but he's not afraid to take on contact, and he's not afraid to get in those rush lanes.
Yeah.
So,
Trey, you got the Cardinals. You are now on the clock.
Well, thank you, Alex. I was going to take Nakobe Dean with that pick. Dang, this pick is hard. I could trade back right here because know.
For some reason, PFF just like nah.
Like,
Apparently,
it's
there's no
like,
team
but how
interested in this.
well, how the draft is went. This is like really a good trade back spot because one, Treylon Burks is here, but you don't need him. Your corners, the top corners are already gone. I mean, you don't really have any.
Well, what I'm looking at it is Chandler Jones isn't there anymore, and they need someone across from JJ Watt.
I mean,
or at least to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, you got Boye and Mob. I could take Boye right here.
You can take Mafe, or you can take the guy that's right here.
And who was that?
Devontae Wyatt.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Let's do it. I forgot he was in the draft. I was mistaking him for Jordan Davis earlier. I forgot he was in the draft. Yeah, I mean, and their run defense was kind of terrible last. I mean, not kind of. It was terrible last year. And I think if you let's say you put JJ Watt and Devontae Wyatt on the same side. Devontae Wyatt is not a small dude. He's 6'4", 310 pounds. So he commands a double team. If you put JJ Watt, and let's hope JJ Watt doesn't miss the entire season with a ACL or anything.
He'll give you 3 games.
Yeah, he'll give you a couple games, but if you put that on the same side, I think it changes that defense around, because then that's what y'all know. Buda Baker, he may be a ball hog, but he is very physical. He does blitz a lot too, so that does open gaps. So yeah, I think Devontae Wyatt would be kind of a perfect fit for them as far as cornerback lineman wise.
All right, Rip, you're on the clock for Dallas.
Okay, so just for not for Dallas necessarily, but what wide receivers are on the board right now?
Well, you got Sky Moore. You have George Pickens. You have Treylon Burks. You have Jalen Tolbert, which you're probably reaching there. Jahan Dotson is still a possible first round player.
Don't go too far now, because there's a guy on.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys have heard me talk, but I think the Falcons are going to trade back up into this first round, and I think they're going to take an offensive lineman.
So you want the Falcons to trade up with Dallas right here?
Yeah. And I think
if I can get that to happen.
We'll make it happen. Yeah, go the 43rd pick, and then our 2/3. See if that works.
82. I mean, because this is what's stopping me. It's PFF saying, hey, they're not interested for this pick, so I can give them every single pick, and it's still not going to change this little needle.
Do a forced trade. Do a forced trade and do the 2/3. I think. Well, no, because we're trading up. Okay, but we're trading up 20 spots. So give them. We got 43. Yeah, and then to 2/3. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll even it. Like in real life.
You want something after this? Like
no, I don't think. I think that's good value for. We're moving up so many spots, But
trade happened.
All right, and I think I will take Kenyon Green because of his versatility. Because he can play guard this year, and he can play tackle later on if we need him.
Yeah, for me, like Green and Zion, they're the picks that you would take if we miss out on Akeem Ekwonu.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to be the same exact player because, I mean, Akeem Ekwonu is like a African Quentin Nelson.
Oh, yeah, like you're not. I'm not. But Kenyon Green. People sleep on Kenyon Green though. He's not. He's not that far of a fall off from. I mean, he is a fall off from King, but not
too far.
Yeah, not crazy.
Zion on
they're
the
still
other hand,
first rounders for a reason.
Right.
Yeah. And I
think
just
it's
think
Zion
he
Small,
gets
man.
the edge because of his versatility. I think Zion is purely a guard in the league, in my mind. But
I think he
so
probably
now
could play center, but I don't know.
that puts me on the clock for Buffalo. In order for them to go all the way this time, I suggest, because like their needs that they say are wide receiver and defensive lineman. I don't really agree with that. I'm thinking, unless if like people are on like contract years and they can't afford certain guys. How's that injury doing with Tre'Davious White? And they also lost Levi Wallace to free agency. He's now a Steeler, so they're going to need a cornerback too. And in order to represent like their number one pass defense,
That's rough.
maybe not.
Now you start.
Maybe not Elam. Maybe not Petrie. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they're still there on safety. So it's like those guys I wouldn't take if I were to get Lewisine. Petrie is more of like a slot guy.
Right. Are you looking for a man coverage corner or a zone?
Dax Hill.
If you're looking for a man, you might want to start looking for Roger McCreary. But if you're looking for zone, you could go.
Gordon too? I mean,
wait! Andrew Booth.
Andrew Booth's hurt.
Yeah, he's still good.
I know he's still good, but like, they have a window right now that they want to keep open. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to just give him Kyrie Elam out of desperation. So I have like 5 seconds left. All right, Alex. Your pick is for Tennessee.
Yeah, easy pick. Give me Zion. We're good.
Trey, you are on the board for yet again another one of our division rivals, Tampa Bay. I'm glad that Zion and Green are off the board before they get to Tampa. I'm just going to say.
Still got Tyler Smith there, still on offensive line.
I'm gonna say that they did re-sign Chris Godwin this year.
They got Russell Gage as well too. I don't think they're looking at wide receiver right now.
Yeah,
but then again, you also want to need another weapon for Brady.
Because they got didn't they lose a guy like a guard to the
They
Bengals?
Lost two, but like I said, they traded for Shaq Mason.
But he just
they lost Ali Marpet.
He just took Zion Johnson now, so.
Jeez, I hate the Bucks. Goodness gracious.
Me and you both, bro.
I don't know how you can get Russell Gage like that. That's crazy.
Especially like after how
it took a simple like text message from Brady. That's all it was.
Exactly. That's what's crazy. Like I'm like, oh no.
Could they be a team that looks at Andrew Booth just because like in Carlton Davis and stuff?
I'm getting them a punter.
Yeah, to be honest, I could be that guy. I'm gonna God, because there's no guards left that's worthy of a first round pick. Like there's literally no.
Or they couldn't go Mafe.
No, I'm not.
They have another edge rusher.
Oh yeah, they already have enough. Like they literally already have enough. I'm not doing that. This could be a trade back spot too. It's really good.
So, trade back spot for me right now is Cincinnati, unless we force it.
Nah.
So I'm gonna give you some extra time if you want to think about trading, but you got 10 seconds.
Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go out of desperation here, and we're going to go. Boy, ain't my favorite.
All right.
Good. Oh, wait, never mind. That's not good. Never mind.
It's like, what are you talking about?
I mean, it's better than like getting them a Desmond Ritter or something. Actually, no, that would have been a good pick. Never mind.
No, dude, you want another quarterback to just like for Tom Brady to go? Yeah, you ain't starting in front of me ever.
All right.
Played
Rip,
on freaking
You're on the
68.
clock for the Packers.
All right. I'm gonna go Sky Moore with this pick.
Oh, there's Christian Watson still on the board, right?
Yeah,
Oh, come on,
but
man.
I think
Don't get
Sky Moore
Dang
with
it.
freaking
Dang
with Sky Moore with Aaron Rodgers
Dang
throwing
it.
in the ball.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I
Dang
was
it.
trying to keep quiet
Dang
just
it.
in case I.
Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. How could you? How could you?
That's
I was trying to keep
Alex,
quiet just in case.
Alex, you finish it off with what the Chiefs did. I already gave him Christian Watson.
Oh my gosh. You already gave the Chiefs Christian Watson?
Yes. Because you said that. All right?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to keep it quiet just in case, like, no one was gonna take him, but okay. Honestly, now that I think about it, I don't know. Is it still my pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I already ran through on mine.
Okay, cool.
actually like this Sky Moore pick to Green Bay. Like, I think it's a better fit than Christian Watson would have been. So for that team.
Yeah.
Because just imagine Aaron Rodgers, like, with his ability to throw guys open with Moore's separation ability. Yeah. I hope that don't happen, but
All right, you got just over a minute, Alex.
Okay, I got it. This really isn't a good pick, but I'm gonna do it. Give me Roger McCreary. It fits the scheme. I don't know.
damn, they got that boy way down there for some reason.
They really do. I looked and I was like, dang, wow, this low? Sheesh.
All right, Trey, you are representing the Cincinnati Bengals. You are now on the clock.
So, I would say O-line here, but they did everything they needed to that O-line. So,
you can still do it.
He just took Roger McCreary, so I'm going to take
What position you feeling?
I'm feeling corner right here because that was kind of the reason they lost the Super Bowl, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
All right, so these are your options. Tariq Woolen's still here too.
Interesting. Oh, Zion McCollum is still on the board.
Yeah, McCollum is going to be like way down here.
Yeah,
he's not a first rounder.
Yeah, he probably isn't going.
All right, so what's the best corners available right now? Because I'm feeling corner.
Well, I'm trying to show it to you. You got
Gordon.
Booth, you got Petrie, you got Daxon Hill. It's kind of a safety hybrid. Gordon, the opposite of McDuffie. And then you got Tariq Woolen, kind of more of a workout warrior that kind of bumped his stock up. Marcus Jones, Cam Taylor-Britt, they're not guys that would really this late pick.
Don't take him in the first. I like Marcus Jones. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You got 30 seconds.
Booth is that guy though.
Hey, I don't see Booth falling out of the first. To be honest,
let's go Booth here.
Just the upside. I'm not a huge Booth fan, but his upside at that point would be worth it.
The only thing that's stopping the Bengals right now from becoming a playoff team is really just their secondary. I mean, that's really
right.
the reason that they lost the Super Bowl last year was because their
They
secondary.
couldn't play man coverage really at all.
Yeah, I mean,
someone
if
opposite of
Linderbaum is there, you might take him, but you don't have to. The way you attack free agency, you don't have to take offensive line.
yeah. All right, last pick representing Lions again. Ripcliffe, what you got?
The Lions and their first pick was Malik.
Yeah.
Get that man some help.
Yeah, I think what's the wide receivers available right now?
If you want a number one, Pickens is right here.
Pickens, yeah.
I'm between him and Burks.
Oh, I forgot Burks was still available. I think the thing with Burks is his combine kind of killed him because I think people expected him to run faster.
So raw, yeah.
It's more so the role that you want them to fit in because Burks is more of a do-it-all guy.
Yeah.
Pickens is that wide receiver one.
Yeah,
right.
But the thing with Pickens is you gotta get that maturity level is gotta get better. It's like
and his hands, dude.
And his hands, yeah.
He's got bricks for freaking hands, dude. I would take Burks. Just
don't they have
They don't have a physical guy. Monte Brown is their number one guy, and he's more of a
wide receiver.
Oh no, they got DJ Chark. Forgot about that.
But
he's like actually no, because that is kind of like their number one right now, to be honest.
He's like a Z.
Yeah, but Burks would be good, and he's like a big slot too. Like he gives you that value. So
yeah, I think Burks is the best pick because he also helps out in the blocking game. So I like that.
All right, so this is this is what we all collectively selected. Now is the first time I'm going to look it up in the chat and see how everyone's doing. So what are we thinking?
I kind of screwed up a few teams. That's what I will say. And I don't feel bad about it.
I think this shows this is a draft that there's not going to be a ton of trades. I don't think there's going to be which every first round there's not like a ton of trades. Like there's that one maybe into the top 10, maybe possibly sometimes, and then you get a couple like down in the later rounds.
Yeah, because again, people were dogging you in the chat about Karlaftis, and I think that you could possibly redeem yourself if you trade back up and get Kenyon Green. Now, as far as what you sacrifice in order to do that, now you're going to have to really make sure that 43rd spot becomes a trade back scenario.
They can roast
and
me
then try
all
to
they
get
want.
more.
Come back to me in 3 years whenever that dude is like the best guy on our D line beside Grady. I mean, if we have Grady Jarrett still.
He will be racking up those pressures, though. I can assure you he's no Dante Fowler.
But let's take a look about what...
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's more so like what he's not. He's not that wide receiver that people want to complain about. He's not that quarterback that people want to complain about. Right. He's, he may not be the top offensive tackle or guard, but then again, you take a look at where the board went. Like Icky was at 4, Neal was at 6, and Cross, he's not someone that can really be a convert to guard. So you can, take these options how you like it. Ahmad Gardner was already off the board before. Kayvon was already off the board. Willis was already off the board. And yeah, like you can mention Jordan Davis slid all the way down to 17. But in the grand scheme of things,
there are other guys
there are worse selections to make here. That's all I gotta say.
And if Karlaftis is your guy, you have to take him at 8 because there's no way he's gonna you would have to trade back up. He's not I know where these people look too much into where mock drafts have people going. Because hey, you remember? I'm not saying he didn't turn out to be a very good player, but Cleveland Farrell went number 4 overall a few years.
And that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He's not bad, but he just.
And here's the thing: if Karlaftis turns out to be a good player, are you really going to care where you picked him. Because are you going to be mad if you got a good defensive end and be like, oh, we took him at 8? My attack for the draft, you get good players.
Yeah.
So, Dirty Birdie, Gripcliff, you want to answer this? Is it just a
Yeah,
reminder?
so we traded back up into the first with the Cowboys to get that.
And we took our 43rd,
Yeah, our
and
and then the 2/3. We really just gave up 2/3 because 43rds are moving up. So we moved up 20 spots and gave up our 2/3 round picks. So we still have a 2nd round pick.
yeah. And then let's talk about some of the people that have not been taken yet, like Desmond Ritter. I don't think I saw him taken.
Yeah.
So
I don't
he's
know.
completely
like
out of the
Desmond.
first round.
I really do. I just don't see another team going quarterback. I mean, they actually, that's not true. I could see another team going quarterback. I just
think
don't
this
think
is gonna
another
be-
team wants to take him.
I think this is going to be a similar draft to what was that draft where the guy from Florida State was the first one to the Bills, EJ Manuel or whatever.
Oh, like
Oh,
because
yeah.
Geno Smith was in the draft booth for day one, and then they were kind of like dogging on him for not being selected. And then the Jets took him. I was like, yeah, it's about time he actually showed up on here.
Yeah. And my thing is with the Falcons, we have to have a change of philosophy if we're gonna build this team up, because we're not gonna have a franchise quarterback as of right now to rely on. You need to be good in the trenches, and this is where that starts.
Oh, I thought I should just use this time to mention, if anyone has checked out the guy from Wake Forest, that plays on the O line, and
Zach Tom?
yes, 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 yes. That, oh my gosh, that's like Charles Cross if you could play different positions. Right.
Now, Zach Tom is a bit undersized, but when you put on the tape for him, and you see him up against a Jermaine Johnson, he dang near wins that battle against him.
And here's the thing with Karlaftis, dude. A lot of people just who's being talked about right now. Put on the tape of Karlaftis, put him up against Trayvon Walker, put him up against Jermaine Johnson, put him up against even Kayvon Thibodeau, and let it just objectively who was the better guy side by side on film.
Because even I, and Ripcliff, you can attest to this. Even I was like, that's a bit high for me. I mean, because I like Thibodeau, because I like Karlaftis, but I just like the other prospects more. And like you told me that, hey, just look up the tape, and so I did, right? And I went to a couple more games after I had that discussion with Minnesota, and overall, I see just a real physical freak that, yeah, he's a bit too raw for someone that wants to rely on athleticism a lot. But what he does well is that he can really recognize the play. He recognize who's blocking him, and he has a plan. Like you said last week, he'll have a plan for every single situation he's in with a pass rush move to go into.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he's not a speed guy, but guess what? When you have a good knowledge of where to go for a play, speed matters a lot less as far as just knowledge of what is going on in the play.
He's an athlete. He's not a free athletic, just genetic freak or anything, but he's very athletic. He hits all the markers you want as a D lineman.
He's got a lot of strength to him, despite his size and lack of length. He doesn't have the best bend, but like I said, he can get past the tackle and then flatten his pursuit angle in order to stop a run, even though he's on the backside.
Right. Yeah. He's not got crazy bend, but he's got enough bend.
In a way, you don't really want him bending too much, though. But I think where you really make his money, what separates him from Jermaine Johnson in my eyes, is his hands. Now, before anyone comes and starts attacking me when I say this, I'm not including the Senior Bowl because Jermaine Johnson in the Senior Bowl looked decent. He looked really good, really good.
But you got to understand that there was a lot of shit linemen in the Senior Bowl too. The Senior Bowl was like one of the worst O-line groups I've seen at the Senior Bowl.
Because certain people, they wanted to change up their draft. They wanted to change up their tactics. Like Trevor Penning was actually one of them. Yeah, Bernard Ryman. They just wanted to switch things up at the last minute in order to prepare for the Senior Bowl, and they just got straight up bullied by more people than just who we're talking about here. Like we're talking about like smaller, like linebackers that would just bully them because they had different tactics used.
Right.
So that may be a reason as to why you see a guy like Trevor Penning like slip, even though I saw him at one point being mocked at 10 to Seattle or 9 to Seattle, and I'm like,
that's stupid. That's
like
whoever says that needs to like lay off the job because that's insane.
Or how we were doing the trade up for New Orleans, like if they instead of Cross, they take Penning there.
Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not that crazy of an idea because I think that they've said that they're changing from a zone scheme to a kind of man on scheme. So if they're doing that, then I understand, but I really don't like it. At 9, they should probably trade down and do that.
I mean, in Jermaine Johnson, like you're literally just putting your eggs in a basket of this dude's gonna reach potential, right? And I'm gonna take the higher floor guy, man. Every time, like.
This isn't to say that there's no more edge guys taken. There's no more D linemen taken. There's no more wide receivers taken. Like you still have Desmond Ridder as an option too, because of this. So now you're going to lose some draft capital because of the Kenyon Green trade. But at the same time, like even if you want to be of those people that want to take a quarterback for this draft right now, second round. This situation, you have Ridder there, you have Corral there, you have even Sam Howell there for mobility. You have Carson Strong that he's very iffy. Like if you can work with his injury, if you can work with his recovery time, which the Falcons have the time to do that for, then they can draft him in like the 3rd round. But if his knee is too bad, him and like a Damone Clark linebacker out of LSU, they both might go undrafted just because of their injury.
I don't think that, but I just wanted to just say one thing because I promise you there's people that actually believe this and I need to I need to say this. There is no way with your 2 eyes, your God-given 2 eyes, that if you look on tape and you can compare Matt Corral to Carson Strong, there's no way you can justify that Matt Corral is better than. There's no way. There's no way. You're out. You're legally insane, and you need to be checked. That's crazy. No.
Yeah, dude. The things that Carson Strong can do is just with his arm, dude. Like, he's not mobile. Okay, all right.
But that's because of the injury we talked about.
Yeah.
Freaking Matt Corral barely had a true traditional pass set. He ran like RPOs 30% of the time, and I'm like, you're saying Carson Wentz? You're not the Philadelphia Eagles. This don't work anymore.
And dude, meanwhile, he's gonna get blasted. He's gonna have a career like RG3 if he tries that in the league.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Carson Strong on one leg, sitting down, can throw farther than Matt Corral can standing up in the proper form.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's crazy.
So if you value arm talent like that, then maybe that's your guy.
Now, Carson Strong, you will need to get him to a team that has a strong O-line, a strong.
That's true. I debated him at 2.
And
the situation values.
You'll want to have at least a stopgap quarterback in front of him, so that you don't have to throw him in right away, so you can give that knee more time to fully heal.
Right.
Because you want to sit him for a year. Just to give the knee that time it needs,
Yeah, he
He's
is the
tough. He can
last
play
person
through
that
it.
I would expect to start QB1 at week 1 for any team.
Yeah. So now that we've done this, if the Falcons wanted to turn around and get a Carson Strong in the second round, then you got Mariota in front of him. You already started the process of building that line around him, so you feel more comfortable with a Carson Strong on your bench. You know.
So I'm going to ask this question for everyone. Outside of, obviously what Cliff did, favorite draft pick that each of us have selected. So Alex, if you want to make that judgment, what was your favorite draft pick, like in terms of like player and location?
Okay. I had two that come to just my mind automatically, and that's my Packers pick with Nakobe Dean, and your pick with Christian Watson to the Chiefs.
Well, I'm talking about like the favorite pick that you made. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Nakobe Dean and Evan Neal, I think. Yeah, probably those picks. Like Nakobe Dean just fits literally perfectly. Like it couldn't be a better fit for him to just be in what's it called in Green Bay. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of regret the pick, but it's still a good pick nonetheless.
Rip, what was your favorite?
My favorite, other than the ones I've talked about for the Falcons, I really like Linderbaum to the Vikings. I think that was a very
down here.
Yeah, because I think they're just done with Bradbury, and I think even though corners are very big need for them, with the corners that were off the board, plus they traded back, so they got extra picks, and they got a guy that like fixes a major need, and the value is there.
Oh yeah, because this benefits not only Kirk Cousins, but it benefits Dalvin Cook. It benefits both receivers.
Yeah, and if you're going to pick Cousins, the money you're paying him, you need to give him some protection.
Yeah, he is everything that Bradbury should have been for them.
Yeah.
Trey?
Yo. The whole sound
what was your
cut out.
Yeah, what was your favorite pick that you made?
I'd probably have to say that Sauce pick. I think if the Giants do end up having to be in that position to where it's like the offensive linemen that you probably wanted are kind of like taken already at that 7th pick. Or was it the 4th one that I did that with? No, yeah.
Well, you took Gardner at 7.
Yeah. So the 7th pick. So yeah, kind of getting that right there. I think it kind of, if you don't end up trading Bradbury, you have that kind of lockdown corner system. But if you end up trading Bradbury, of course, then you have the what's the word I'm trying to look for? The insurance package.
Right. Oh, I mean, I could just say Jordan Davis basically anywhere. But even for the Chargers, like, they have their own run fits that they need to properly cover up. And like I said, even though they got Sebastian Joseph Day, he still doesn't really swing the needle, even though they gave him that contract, because you really can't vouch or expect him to start all those games and play all those snaps. So having that proper rotation there, as we've mentioned with our own team, like having that proper rotation for them to make that 3-4 run fit work for them in the long run, they're going to need someone else like there. Now, they could go with the other route of adding another lineman or adding another receiver, but they can put points up on the board. Like, we've seen that. But as far as stopping the other opponent from doing that, we've also seen that, where they just get into some shootouts, and they don't want to always have to do that. because this is why they end up with losing seasons. So give him someone there to plug that in. I'm also just going to, well, since Alex mentioned it, the Christian Watson pick, just keeping that in mind that, oh yeah, he's all the way down here.
I knew that he was all the way down there. I just didn't want y'all to take him.
So let me go with this one thing real quick that I mentioned last week. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, 5, 6 cornerbacks taken, and we selected, what was it? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we have 7 wide receivers taken. So this would go against my prediction last week about having more corners than receivers. But we saw like an equal number of windows where a corner and a receiver for the same team could work.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like this, especially these last couple of picks. Like you can really flip flop them around. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. And yes, this is just our official mock draft from everyone on the panel. This is not us to say that, hey, this is exactly what's going to happen, and we're not trying to put any sort of guarantee on any of these picks. So just thought I'd make that vouch for us. But with that being said, we can see the upsides and the downsides of these decisions being made all around. You get to hear some of our thought process for how we view each team. All right, because in order to really identify who we take, we got to look around at every single team and be like, okay, well, who can they take, and who can? Linderbaum went to 16 right there, so he did not slide to the second round. Oh, geez, what the heck could happen? All right. So yeah, this is not us saying that, oh, hey, it's just, we're just making assumptions, as all these mock drafts are. So you can still, think about it however you want. But I think overall, I'd be okay with this.
I mean, I pray that like the Bucks just take up Hunter for my sanity, please.
Yeah, Bucks, Panthers, Saints all need to take punters because there's a big need for them there. And they say this in the league, like, hey, if you don't have a punter, then you're not relevant, because punters are in fact people too. You want a statesman, you want a person in the locker room that you can depend on. Look at Pat McAfee. All right, like it's not impossible. So
right.
all these punters drafted.
And I want to say this. I want to say this.
Just
right?
trade the pick for cash considerations or something. Like, please.
I want to say this. People get too bogged down into where players are selected. Okay, it happens every year. Everybody was griping about where we took AJ Terrell because they were like, "Oh, we could have possibly got him in the second." If the player turns out to be a good player and a good
then
fit,
you forget about all that.
Nobody cares where he was taken.
And the whole thing is that wasn't just the only thing they were talking about. They wanted CeeDee Lamb and Caleb Von Chase on over Terrell that year.
Yeah, a lot of people want to chase on. A lot of people want to chase on.
What in the? Okay, nope. Sorry. What? This is okay. No.
So I go for fit, and I don't worry about where I take a player if he's a guy that I think is a very good fit for the spot he's at. So am I thinking with, I'm obviously mainly talking about the Karlaftis thing. If Karlaftis becomes our best edge rusher, nobody's going to care if he's taken at 8, if he's taken at 24, if he's taken at 36. They don't care. He's a good player. That's all. that's your ultimate goal, is to get as many good players as you can on your roster. That's what draft picks are for.
Yep, him just coming out right now without any NFL training, already better than Dante Fowler, and already better than whatever Ed Rush, Lorenzo Carter, way better, like already.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be too worried about that, especially because we've already talked about who shouldn't be going there. So you're still getting the position of need that is necessary, and then you went and got another person of need that is necessary on both trenches. We keep talking over here and preach about the trenches, building up the trenches, and that's how you dictate everything else that goes on both sides of the ball. So, we're not reaching for a need. We're just simply saying, hey, this is what is on your draft board. That's all fine and dandy. But this is what's on our draft board. This is who we have people taking here. You got to remember, there's other picks as well. This is why there's 3 days of a draft. It's not 3 days of the same first rounders. So you have more opportunities there. It's a deeper class all around than it's ever really been because of the pool of players that, suffer from the COVID restrictions and regulations and now get swapped over to here because of, the whole mess. But now you have more players to choose from than ever before. And if you're worried about contracts, and all that salary cap and stuff because of the 2 first rounders that you're taking, well, you can still fill up your roster with all the other holes that you didn't draft in the, with the other remaining picks and still get quality guys at UDFAs.
Hashtag shout out DJ Davidson.
You got DJ Davidson. I'm gonna. Man, I don't think he's going. You know what? How? One last person I can shout out in this entire process before we really get down into the nitty gritty moving forward. A quarterback that I just recently found out about. Because the Draft Network, they had him listed like significantly above Bailey Zapp, and I was like, okay, well, Bailey Zapp is like a dang near guaranteed 4th rounder, and there's really no much talk about any other quarterback going in between that time. So when I found out that there's this guy from Southeast Louisiana by the name of Cole Kelly, he is 6'7", in between 250 and 260 pounds.
What?
And here's the one stat I'm going to throw out there for you. In terms of adjusted completion percentage, number 1 in the nation with 82%.
What?
43 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 16 rushing touchdowns on top of that.
All right, I need to see the scheme. I need to see what he's playing in. Because I promise you, let me find out it's an RPO. I promise you, I'm never watching football ever again. I can't do it. I can't do it.
So that's my undrafted free agent possible shout out. I don't know if you guys got any more. If you're gonna shout out DJ Davidson.
Frame though, I would worry about overthrows to like running backs and stuff. That's usually like if you look at like Brock Osweiler, he had to throw the ball like downward to like get it to the spot because he was so high and his release point was so high that he had to like the way he had to throw the ball like
probably had to throw it later than most people would.
Yeah. He that's a trigger name for me.
And because, there's not many other people that are also 6'7" to, kind of coach alongside of him, other people may not know that problem. So.
But even if he's undrafted, then you don't really care. Like, you're not really risking anything bringing him into camp.
I think Josh Allen's like 6'5".
6'5", probably like 6'6".
6'6". So he's about Josh Allen's height. In weight. Jeez, goodness gracious.
Your target would be like 6'4", 6'5" for a quarterback height. That's like the high end. Not that
You know, like-
high matters that much.
I'm not expecting Cole Kelly to be like the next starter. I'm just saying that like he's a guy that I'm surprised doesn't get recognition, probably because of like the division that he's playing in, which is probably like what, D2 or something like that. But
it's more than likely, yeah.
If you can play football, I think because we have Division 2, we have HBCU that needs more recognition. I think
it does.
You have guys like Tyler Smith from the tackle from Tulsa that could go first round. Like these people need recognition elsewhere outside of the top colleges and conferences.
Yeah, and the thing with like people talking about Bailey Zappa or whatever his name is, I just look at that dude and like his arm, or the lack thereof, he does not have an NFL arm. Like, yeah, he put up numbers in college, right? I get it, and that doesn't account for nothing. But I look at traits and how they project to the next level.
Right.
And so and I just, when I look at it's the eyeball test, man, I just see it and I don't see anything more than a career backup out of him, at best.
That's going to be quite the story to tell yourself, I broke Joe Burrow's record of throwing for 65 passing touchdowns in the NCAA, and all it got me was a backup job in a weak quarterback class.
But
that's
you can't really compare him to Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow just had everything. If you had a checklist of what you'd want in an NFL QB prospect, you just check everything off with Burrow.
Yeah.
He had everything. That season was just I've never evaluated a quarterback that just wowed me so much. Other than maybe Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson comes close, but even Zach Wilson had times, sporadic times that you kind of question. But
what about Luck?
He had it too. He had the mental, you could just tell how he carried himself. It was just something else.
Okay. I think this is about Cole Kelly. He's he can sling it, but has some off-field issues, and I think he's fixing to be 25. So.
Oh dang, he's about. Oh nah, no.
Who's this?
I think he's referring to Cole Kelly.
25. Sheesh.
That's older than Calvin Ridley was in the.
It's still 3 years younger than Brandon Whedon.
True.
I mean, yeah. As long as you can play.
And it's hey, the lifespan of a quarterback has increased more than it's ever been before.
Oh yeah, Tom Brady's still in the league. I forgot about that.
And again, you said, you're not looking for him to be a starter, a mainline starter. If he could carve out a career as a backup,
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's
still decent money to be held, to be getting around by just being a clipboard holder. Ask Chase Daniel.
Yeah. Oh, shout out. I can't even say his name because it's so long. But shout out defensive tackle from Ohio State, or no, Iowa State. Yeah, he's good. That dude.
Iowa State. Is that Yomi Uzurike or something?
Yeah.
Is he related to Levi?
That's on Uzurike.
So. Yeah, I don't think he is. But that dude is, jeez. The amount of spots he played on the D line and how good he is. Goodness gracious. He looks like a smaller Vita Vea, if I'm being honest.
Well, like Quacken said, don't take it's not a predictive mock draft that we did tonight. This is just what we would do if we were in that position, and what we feel would be the best fits.
All right. Well,
also,
thank you guys for tuning in.
The Packers should take N'Kobe Dean at the spot I took because that was bad.
I think it was a good pick, dude. I would have actually probably selected him to the Patriots because N'Kobe Dean, a lot of people sleep on him, dude.
Yeah.
Again, there's
Yeah.
just players that every year that team just they stop talking about them and they don't talk about them, but then they get drafted somewhere. And
Here's
then
the thing.
3 years
'Cause
down
my-
the line,
Because my thing for the Patriots, right? If I choose not to take N'Kobe Dean, and I take Kyle Hamilton, if he's still there on the board,
Mhm.
Channing Tindall.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, Jack Sanborn.
Jack Sanborn, Leo Chenal.
Leo's
Yeah.
not falling out the first, probably.
listen,
Actually, no, he is.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Brandon Smith from Penn State.
Here's the
Ooh,
thing, man. N'Kobe Dean is
Malcolm
going to be one of
Rodriguez.
those players. He's going to be one of those players that just gets on a team and he's just making plays
Balls out.
all game, and everyone's like, "Well, who's this N'Kobe Dean guy that just makes plays everywhere?" Like he's not going to be like a superstar because like nobody's ever going to like view him that way.
He's like
He's
JOK.
just he's gonna be solid, no matter what you do with him.
All right, so Nathan Flo is kind of clearing up some of the off-field issues that he said earlier about Cole Kelly. He's saying there was a DWI in 2017, let her play guilty, nothing to worry about as far as anything else after that.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I mean he's a
I
college.
mean, heck,
yeah,
same
that's
thing
not
happened to
bad.
Dak Prescott. So
He's a college kid, dude.
Yeah.
We do dumb shit when we're in our early 20s.
especially in Louisiana, you know who you are.
Yeah, yeah. At least he didn't get caught.
There's a
you know,
reason at
in a
one point
drive-by.
Louisiana had the most people in prison than any other state.
Yeah, at least he wasn't caught in
Jeez.
Dallas in a passenger seat of a car that
I
did
mean-
a drive-by shooting. You know, it could be that bad. You know.
They call
At
the
least
party
he's not
shit
Henry
party.
Ruggs, so you know.
They call Louisiana
Yeah, he's
party
not a
soon.
Greg Robinson.
Too soon. Yeah, that might have been too soon. Not bad.
He could be gun under the seat guy. You know, kind of thing.
Is it weird that Jameson Williams reminds me of Henry Ruggs? And that's why I don't like him.
Who?
That's not funny because it's somewhat funny.
He's saying he's saying why does Jamison Williams remind him of Henry Ruggs?
I mean, on the
Alabama-
field maybe, but
Alabama
I think
uniform.
Jameson
Off the
Williams
field, he's good.
than Ruggs.
On the field.
Period. But I was so shocked that Ruggs was the first wide receiver taken in that draft, dude.
Yeah,
We all collectively were.
wasn't bad pick though, but I
But
mean
it's-
it was, but it wasn't. You know,
Is Gruden and Mayock? What do you expect?
I mean, because like later down the line, you had Justin Jefferson. Just saying.
Yeah, dude.
True.
CeeDee Lamb,
Lamb.
even Judy.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, we're gonna wind this down. So,
All right.
appreciate you guys.
Draft day.
Thank y'all for tuning in. It is less than 24 hours away. Gosh, I'm equally ready and not ready.
Also, are we going to be live tomorrow during the
I am.
Yeah.
Mike and them probably.
I'm
hop
gonna
on.
be out with some friends watching the draft, so I won't be able to really. I mean, I might be able to like be in a chat, you know. But
Hey, man, don't worry about it.
I'll probably hop on there with y'all after practice, you know. But yeah, live stream tomorrow. Make sure y'all check in on that. And
I am going to go to sleep crossing every single bone in my body. That like somehow the Bucks forfeit their pick. I'm going to.
So, just in case if you're unaware about the times, that is going to start tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then round 2 and 3 will start at about 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturday rounds 4 through 7. That's going to be at noon Eastern. So those are the times in case you wanted to know. And let's get on with it and let's talk about it. So, all right. Appreciate
guys tomorrow.
guys.
all right, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.